Hello viewers and welcome to today's episode of the Mrs. Amma Show. If you're new to my station, to my channel, I say welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, just hit it, and this is where I provide useful tips. Today's session is the career section or career talk. And this is where I provide useful tips on how to advance in your career, how to take your career to new heights, and just tips, bits and bobs, tips here and there on just really how to be take your career to the greatest heights. So on today's vlog, welcome again. On today's vlog, I'm going to be discussing 3 things I wished I did in my 20s. In other words, if I could turn back time. Remember the song by Cher, if I could turn back time. If I could turn back time and go back to my 20s, or if I had the opportunity to sit my 20s-year-old self down and give advice, these are 3 things I would advise her on what to do to further advance her career or to quicken the career advancement. I mean, I'm not complaining, I've had a successful career so far in finance and accounting. I've got tons of opportunities thrown my way, and I've been very privileged to work with excellent people whom I learn from. But on reflection, when I sit back and reflect, with these 3 things, I could have accelerated the advancement, to put it that way, right? So number 1 is learn a new language. So many people are probably thinking, oh yeah, I've been wanting to learn a language. Now that was me. Been wanting to learn a new language, I've been telling myself, okay, yes, get on top of it, go enroll in it. For some reason, I just kept procrastinating. I did a vlog on procrastination. It's the enemy of progress. I kept procrastinating and finding all manner of excuses not to go learn a language, or all manner of excuses not to enroll in a language course. If you are like me, or maybe you're even better than me, I kind of like it structured. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, so enroll for a language course, go for the classes and all of that. But these days, I just do it on my phone. I use an app. I should have learned a language. Right now, currently, I am learning German. Again, it's an app that I downloaded on my phone, and I just do the daily lessons. And every day that goes by, I become more adept, or more, I gain more expertise in the German language. And I just sit here and just kick myself in the behind. Why didn't I do this in my 20s? Why didn't I do this many moons ago? Can you imagine what other opportunities could have opened up for me? I've always worked for international companies, so companies with branches pretty much all over both all over the country and all over the world. And if I were fluent in German, for example, can you imagine the tons of opportunities that could have opened up for me in my companies in Germany? I mean, all of a sudden I could have been, transferred to the German location to either go set up the accounting department or go, work there for, 6 months or a year. I mean, just whatever it is, but I had to have been fluent in the German language. So it's a mistake that I made. I just kick myself in the behind every day, but I try not to be too tough on myself. However, if you're in your 20s right now and you're not bilingual, or you don't have a second language, or you've not mastered the second language, I say go ahead and do so. Enroll in a course, or these days there are tons of apps out there. Just download one on your phone and just start taking the lessons day by day. You'd be amazed at the results. Every day you become more adept at the language. The second piece of advice I would advise my 20-year-old self is, or myself in my 20s, is learn a new skill. Again, here with the world becoming highly competitive, it's so, when you take a look at the pool of candidates, of qualified candidates, let me take for example in my field of accounting, right? Gone are the days where you just go to school, you graduate, with an accounting degree, you probably sit for your chartered accountancy exams or your certified, exams and become a certified accountant or a CPA, and you get a job and then that's it. These days, in the pool of candidates looking for jobs, not only will you have in that pool certified public accountants who graduated summa cum laude, first class honors, top of their class, you would also find candidates who are certified public accountants, who've got programming skills or coding skills, who are very good graphic designers, who are adept at public speaking and speech writing. How do you even compete? How do you even begin to compete with that? I mean, in these days where the world is becoming more global and smaller, one needs to be multi-talented. It's key. Multi-talent is what is in the marketplace right now. And if you don't jump on that bandwagon, you will get left behind. So that is another key of advice I would advise my 20-year-old self is learn a new skill. Continually develop yourself outside of your core training. So if you're an accountant, it's very easy to continue to take, classes in accountancy or brush up your accounting skills and all that. However, step away from that for a minute and develop other skills. Go take a marketing class. Go take some coding classes, also programming classes. Learn the basics, very basics. No one is saying go and become a pro, programmer. No, you leave that to the programmers, right? But it would not hurt to gain rudimentary knowledge of programming or how to do simple coding. It's great. It's great. No disadvantages to it. They're all advantages. That's what I would advise myself in my 20s is break out of your comfort zone. So I'll tell her to break out of her comfort zone. Seek out opportunities. Like I said, seek out career opportunities abroad. If your company is thinking of expanding and all that, be at the forefront. Indicate interest. If you're new at a job or you're new in your career, get a mentor. It's not really very early on in the career, people are not thinking about mentorship or getting mentors, but it is key. It can help to guide your process and help guide your career. So just break out of your comfort zone. Like I say, seek out opportunities, international assignment opportunities. Get a mentor. If you don't have a physical mentor, or you've looked around in your company and there's really no one you can ask for, or there's really no one you are. Because maybe you think, you're so new to the job and you don't really want to ask anyone to be a mentor. Have a virtual mentor. A virtual mentor just means there's so many influencers, key influencers or key business executives that we hear of, these days. Warren Buffett, you name them, Bill Gates. So have a virtual mentor, study them, what makes them successful, read books about them, read up on their biographies, follow them on social media, see what they're up to, and just try to make that act as a guide. So if you're thinking, oh wow, I really like what Warren Buffett is doing, read up on him, see how he's been successful, how does he define success and how has he been successful, and just try to emulate some stuff. So virtual mentorship also counts. If you can't have a physical mentor, have a virtual one. So again, if you're in your 20s, you're watching this vlog, now is the time to try and imbibe one or more of these tips I have given. If you're no longer in your 20s and you think you've missed the 20s boat, don't despair. It is never too late to start. At the end of this vlog, I'm going to be, I would insert a link to an earlier vlog that I did on 5 ways to boost your career. Watch it. There are also some great tips out there, 5 tips out there on how to boost your career. Coupled with this, and you are well on your way to boosting your career, to ensuring that you are bringing out the best in you at work, and you're also seeking out the best opportunities for you and your career advancement. So I say go forth, conquer, and until the next time on the Career Talk segment or Career Tuesdays of the Mrs. Amma Show, I say you stay well.